The Empty Meadow. Deep in the Golden Meadow, Kesar the lion and Bjorn the bear were neighbors. Kesar was very proud of his golden mane, and Bjorn was very proud of his heavy, fuzzy paws. Usually they were peaceful, but they both had very big appetites. One sunny afternoon, they spotted something unusual near a berry bush. It was Pip, a tiny stray goat who had wandered away from his herd. Kesar's eyes grew wide. "I found him first," he roared, stepping forward. Bjorn shook his head and stepped in front of the lion. "No, I saw him first," he grunted, his belly rumbling like thunder. "My stomach is much emptier than yours, Kesar. This little prize belongs to me." They started to bicker and shout. Kesar bared his teeth, and Bjorn stood up on his hind legs to look as tall as a tree. Neither of them noticed Pip, who sat trembling in the tall grass, wondering why the big animals were so loud. The bickering turned into a tumble. Kesar pounced, and Bjorn swiped with his heavy paws. They rolled through the wildflowers, kicking up a huge cloud of dust and leaves. It was a very noisy and very messy fight. They wrestled for hours as the sun began to set. The meadow grew chilly, and the sky turned a soft purple. They were so busy trying to win the fight that they didn't notice how tired and weak they were becoming. Finally, with a loud thud, both Kesar and Bjorn fell to the ground. They were too exhausted to lift a single paw or let out even a tiny growl. They lay there, huffing and puffing, side by side in the flattened grass. Out from the shadows of the forest crept Renard the fox. He had been watching the fight from behind a tree with a sneaky, clever grin. He saw that the two giants were too tired to move, so he walked right up to Pip. Renard gently took Pip's lead rope in his mouth. "Thank you for the gift, gentlemen," he chuckled. Kesar tried to roar, but only a tiny squeak came out. Bjorn could only blink his tired eyes as the fox began to lead the prize away. Renard and Pip disappeared into the dark trees. Kesar looked at Bjorn and sighed. "If we had shared, we would both have a friend and a meal," he whispered. Bjorn nodded sadly. They learned that day that sharing is always better than fighting and losing everything.